It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Activate beast mode, I just hit cheat code. Gotta say his niggas want Rico. Ayy, I was on TiVo, green dot reload. About to touch down like Tizo. Ayy, stunning like Steve-O, simple like free throw. Juice color like Nigo. Ayy, whip got soup like miso. Ayy, nigga take L like default. Riding through the city, no gas. I be floating on the track, no rail. Okay. Never did art. I just need G's for the craft. For front, I don't put it on tab. Never tell move smart. Hollywood to school with your dad. Now they got me saying rules in the class. I'm just trying to do my part. Nigga walk smooth like Shaft. Wanna see me come through for the back. I got my 808 dumping when I'm cruising through the street. We just vibing, niggas riding, hit the spot like 10 deep. I need my squad on my back. We ain't no game, but they my peeps. I need like 20K at least. I'm just trying to keep the peace.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this particular video, we're going to be getting into Miss Keri Hilson, Miss Keri, baby, and her new interview at the Breakfast Club, man. Of course, everybody knows that Keri Hilson and Beyoncé have been linked for many years due to a diss record or a diss verse that she put out on her Turning Me On remix a little over a decade ago. It's been following her for a long time. Beef. She also threw shots at Ciara in that verse. Followed her for a very long time. I wouldn't say that's the reason why she faded away from the music industry. She continued to have successful records even after that happened, but she got into some different types of relationships and things of that nature that kind of deterred her focus away from the music industry, from songwriting, from putting out her own records and things of that nature. So that kind of took a backseat. She did get into acting for a little bit, which also helped keep her out there a bit. But now she's coming back to music. She's got a new single out called Bay. I believe she's got a new album that's on the way, I believe within the next week or so. Let me actually look that up real quick. Yeah. So her new album, We Need to Talk, which is going to be her upcoming third studio album that will be released on April 18th, so just 9 days away, via her own independent company called Audible Art Club, also distributed by Create Music Group, which if y'all don't know about them, they're definitely big in the distribution game, the publishing game, and they've created a lot of different outlets for artists in order to, have some backing, some money and budgets and things of that nature to put out their music independently. So shout out to them. Now, in this interview, she's addressing some of the details that went into the construction of that diss towards Beyonce. She's basically stating that it wasn't her idea to diss Beyonce. And she was also under the guidance of Polo the Don at the time, who was her producer and the man who signed her. So he was executive and the producer at the very same time. And she says that she was on the road. She was with Lil Wayne, because he was actually on the original record. And Polo was like, yo, we need to get this remix done ASAP. And because she was on the road performing, going from city to city, state to state, she didn't have time to actually write the remix herself, which of course Keri is mostly known for her pen. She was writing songs for everybody in the industry before she ever put out her solo debut. So she didn't have the magic at the time, right? She shows up to the studio, she wants to work on it. But Polo has this other verse that he's encouraging her to sing. She says, whoa, I don't know if I want to touch that. And Keri claims that Polo basically put her in a compromising position to say, you gonna sing this. You know what I'm saying? It got contentious in the studio. He was the one in power. She claims threats were made, and therefore the song got laid, and the rest is history, okay? Now, with her saying this, the songwriter for the song, Miss Ester ended up coming out. Now, Miss Keri Hilson did not state that it was Ester, but people went and did some investigative work, checking the credits to see who exactly she could have been talking about. She said the person did go on to become famous. Ester is a very reputable, well-known writer in the music industry, and she's released her own solo records as well. So people put two and two together. So Esther Dean ends up coming out and admitting, yes, I was the hidden hand. You know what I mean? I did that. And it was interesting because it seemed like she had some energy towards the situation when she said it, like, and did, which we'll pull up in a minute. And then within about an hour, she came out and apologized, which seems like a very PR type of move, because people were like, why are you trying to be nice, nasty, or just being nasty in the comments when, you know, she didn't even say your name. But we'll get to all of that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and pull up the clip of Keri Hilson explaining the situation and basically trying to let people know that it was never her intention to go at Beyoncé, right? But she was put in a position where, hey, this dude could have put an end to my career. I would have never even got that record out if I didn't comply. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though.
I think that's the one problem with being an artist, is that nobody believes that y'all are real people. And so when you are going through real things, nobody will take that into consideration. It's more entertaining for them to be like, the Beehive ran her out of town.
Right, that's way more entertaining. Yeah.
Now today, at this point, are you looking, like when you look back at that, and people will bring it up, so I'm sure you're kind of preparing yourself for that. How do you not even explain it, but like, how do you look back on that? What are your comments on it now, so far removed from it?
It's a regret. It's a regret, but not in the way that people would think, because that's a song that I actually didn't write. Those are not my words. I was on tour. Polo wanted me to do a remix to Turning Me On. He had produced the record, and I wasn't, because I was on tour with Lil Wayne. I wasn't able to like lay anything down. He had been on me for a couple of weeks about we need to do a remix. Okay, so I take off. It wasn't happening quick enough for him. I take off, we fly in, and he had another writer in our camp at the time. He had her write this, so he played it for me like, this is the remix, because I'm thinking I'm coming in to go write a remix to Turning Me On. Like, the whole time I had been writing concepts, like, but I come into the studio and he plays me this verse, and I'm like, automatically, I'm like, I'm not saying that. That was my position. So I tried to fight him on it, and I began writing my own. That's what I did with my time there. But I want to be careful with the word I use. It was quite forceful. You know what I mean?
In an executive artist way?
Yeah, in an executive artist way only. You know, involving others and kind of threatening my career in a sense, in a real sense. Like, you're not coming, because my album wasn't out yet. So it was like, you're not coming out if you don't do this. And the mistake that I made was not continuing to fight. But I was in tears. I was crying. I was adamant that I did not want to do that.
And for people that don't know, you were signed to Polo.
I was signed to Polo and Timbaland.
Correct.
Yep, in a joint venture at Interscope Records.
Yep.
And I was young. I was super young. I felt I had no power. I felt I had no choice. But I did record my version, which had nothing like that in it. It was on subject. The song is about men. And it leaked like days after I did it, but he promised me that wouldn't happen. So it leaked. And that was that. And I protected him. I protected the girl that wrote it, who went on to become famous. I protected everyone in the story. So I had to eat that. And I am still eating it to this day. But that is definitely a regret of not fighting even stronger. But again, when your career is on the line and they make it that be the way that you perceive the situation, not perceive, but it was pretty clear. But when you're that young, you're just kind of like, fuck.
Maybe they know better than me.
Right.
I have
like,
to, yeah.
Yeah.
What did Timbaland say?
I think he just went because they were partners. I think he just went along, but I don't remember that we involved him or that he was involved at all, because he hadn't produced that record. But I wonder now. I would love to ask him, like, what did you think about that? What I do know is he went on to work with B and J,
So did Polo
and tour with him, and so did Polo. And I would say, Keri the human was looking at Keri Hilson the artist like, you deserve that shit. You should have fought harder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understood it. I got it.
Give yourself grace, though.
Absolutely.
Well, it's tough to do because I that's something that I held on to. Not again,
Girl, every time we together. It's
Yeah,
okay. I got
please.
you, sis.
but
Because Lauren, her wig smells like onions.
First of all,
thank you for making me
whatever
laugh.
makes you laugh.
Thank
Yes,
you,
go
thank
ahead.
you.
Mhm.
That was I
Can't
felt
say it
that.
wasn't true though, but go ahead.
Y'all are crazy. But that is what if. Oh, give myself grace. Yeah. I do now. I do. I have forgiven myself. But that's what it goes back to the shame that I felt for so long. So I just felt like that was such an ungraceful mistake to make, or to be forced to do, and to not stand up for myself. That was the shame that I wore. Was like I should have fought harder. Should have fought harder. I should have fought harder. I should never have done it. I should never have recorded that. I should have outed them well before now. I should have, you know what I mean? And I still am protecting the writer because I feel like she might have been doing what she was told to do. I hope that.
All right. So that is Keri Hilson voicing her side of the story. You know, sensitive subject, especially when you're talking about Beyonce, the Beehive, that whole thing. You know, not necessarily the most forgiving crowd when you get on their bad side. You know what I'm saying? It's a few people with some massive fan bases in the game, and you say the wrong thing, it's up for life. But you know, I think it's a good time today for Keri to come out, get some music out there, test the waters. You know what I'm saying? Speak to her fans because she does have a fan. Let me actually take her off the screen now. She's done talking. Speak to her fans that have been out here waiting for music, for her to come out and, you know, put her talent back into display. The whole thing, you know, she's got, like I said, she's got the new record base. She's got the album that's on the way in just about another week or so. So, yeah, new album out, clean it up, right? Which this isn't the first time she's addressed this. She's addressed this in multiple interviews. This is not a news story, but this is The Breakfast Club. This is one of the biggest shows out. Even with a dwindling fan base, they're still one of the biggest shows out. So there's that. Now, again, as she kind of put it over on Ester Dean, here is what Miss Ester had to say in return. So as this was circulating on social media, of course, up top it says Keri Hilson opens up about being forced to sing a Beyonce diss song that she did not write. This person here, Almighty D, says the writer was definitely Ester Dean. Ester Dean jumps into this person comment and responds. It says, and did. It was a hit. Which to me doesn't sound remorseful at all. Of course, Ester Dean did go on to write for Beyonce right after this. So she got the creative liberty of dissing her ass and then turning around and writing for her. And then she got to go on with the rest of her career and do whatever the fuck she want to, while Keri out here goddamn windmilling and yeah, oh man. But she ain't even write the shit. And she known for having an amazing pen on her own. We got this person here, as told by Desi. They say Ester Dean wrote the song. Ester Dean also responded to that. She said co-wrote, but yes. Okay? So she's owning up to it, but doesn't seem like there was no sorry. There was no we should have rewrote it. We should have reconsidered the implications that would come, the ramifications that could come behind it. None of the sort. Seemed like she was more proud of it, right? But like I stated earlier, she came back with a totally different message, speaking a whole different language. So here we have the follow-up from Ester Dean. She says, I submitted a lot of verses for that remix. One got picked, and it was co-written with Keri. So as some of the blame was shifted over to Ester, she's now shifting some more of that blame back to Keri to say, hey, this is something that we did together. Okay? She continues, looking back, it was childish and didn't age well. I see how it hurt people, especially women. and I take full accountability. I've worked with and supported many women since, but that doesn't erase the moment. I'm sorry for my part in it. Growth is real, and so is this apology. But it was only a few minutes before this apology was issued that you didn't seem all that apologetic. Now, I will say, Ester Dean is an excellent writer as well. She's got a lot of hits under her belt. You know, singer-songwriter. She could get out here and do the motherfucking job. But, you know, Keri has been receiving the brunt of the responsibility. I mean, it is her song after all. Her name is on it. She did, you know, it's her voice on the record. But both of y'all were under the direction of Polo the Dawn, you know, and Polo is all about trying to get the people talking, trying to impact the game in a way that could be, you know, worth the chatter. This is a person who walked around in the industry for many years calling himself king of the white girls, right? Just to have something of a trademark next to his name. And I'm not saying Polo's not talented either, but it seems that Polo is a bit of a shoddy individual. I got to be honest. We've talked on this very channel multiple times about how Hit Boy came out just a couple years ago and said Polo put him in a predatory deal when he was like 17 years old, right? That he's just now getting out of damn near 34, 35. Hit Boy produced Niggas in Paris, all this shit for Kanye, Jay-Z, Watch the Throne, Big Sean, all these hit records, and was not eating off none of them fucking royalties because Polo the Don put him in a predatory deal as a kid, just trying to get on. Someone else that we've talked about quite a bit on my channel, Miss Tiffany Red, was put in that same type of deal by Polo the Don at a very early stage in her career. Right? So it does seem to me that Polo is probably the main culprit. He never comes out and speaks on any of this stuff. He never defends himself. He don't give a fuck. He goes out, he makes his money off of all of this material, and he be out here just living his best life. But we got Keri suffering. We got Ester coming out having to apologize, which Keri even gave her the benefit of saying, I'm pretty sure she was working under Polo's direction. Then you got all these other people that were put in those publishing contracts where niggas got fucked over royally for their royalties. So just a clusterfuck, you know. I'm glad that Keri is now off of Zone 4 Entertainment. You know, she's got her own thing. She's got her own situation with Create Music Group. Hopefully this new album that she has coming is going to be good. The reception for Bay has been up and down. I've seen some people that love it. I've seen some people that hate it. I think it sounds okay. You know what I'm saying? The Hey Baby thing is a little, it's cool. But once you get past that, I'm like, all right, it's a little vibe. I could deal with it. But I hope the rest of the album is better. I will say that. And then we have about 9 days till we see what it's really hitting on. Now, since that time, I believe that Keri Hilson and Beyoncé have run into each other, kind of patched things up, water under the bridge, not something to rehash and like create new beef over, right? Her and Ciara have run into each other and, hashed out their differences or whatever the fuck that was. And it seems to be all love between them two as well. So I guess all is well that ends well, but this is just a throwback story that's being clarified as Keri is on a press campaign to get people to know about this new project. And hopefully everything works out for her, you know what I mean? And hopefully she's able to continue to eat off the music that she puts out now. And now y'all can let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments, all right? Much love and respect. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mile. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest, but drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries, stand for my honor. But too raw, no corner, packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.